is the Bill Squire Show.
All right, you got it, Teddy.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
There we go.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Bill Squire Show. I am here with the very funny Mark Norman, who just had a comedy special come out a few months ago. And they're on cue. My dogs start barking.
Your wife's yelling at you.
Yeah. Oh, she puts out, so it's worth it.
Arf.
How you been, man? How's everything going? Comedy's never been better. I'm sure you've never been happier. The country is unified. It's a good time to be alive.
Yeah, it's kooky, man. I'm sitting at home. I got a show tonight, indoor.
Ooh, where at?
It's this place called Eastville. It's a comedy club in Brooklyn. Should be weird, but yeah, everything's a bummer. You think you're getting out of it, then you're right back into it. I'm gay now. It's all kooky.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. And you go in and out of gayness as an adult male. I think it's pretty common.
Yes,
we talked about on the radio show that I'm on today that it's ghosts that make you gay. So that's all it is. Just some gay ghosts. It's lady ghosts that get into your body and make you want dick.
Aha.
That's their
I like that. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's their unfinished business is getting dick down, because back in the day everybody was so oppressive that now they see all these sluts out there and they're like, I want some of that. So there you go.
Well, I hope these lady ghosts are in anal, because I can't take it any other way. I guess orally. Yeah.
And sometimes they're tops. Sometimes they want to give the dick,
Yeah, good point. Good point. I hope I get a top lady. If I got a ghost get a lady in me, I'd hope I get a top lady.
Yeah, well, just pray and maybe you'll get your wish.
Yeah. Also, the top and bottom thing, it doesn't really add up, because what if you're a top, but you're on the bottom? Wait. Hold on.
It's just nomenclature, whereas, it's you can be a top and still be on the bottom. So they can be riding your dick and Got
it. All right. You know a lot about gay ghosts.
Yeah. Well, there's been I've had a lot of time to myself.
Here. Same. Yeah. So I guess a haunted house is a gay bar. No. But yeah, I've been doing all kinds of shit. I'm coming to Cleveland in a week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to have you on, because you're coming to Cleveland. You're going to be at Hilarities. What are the dates? Like the 5th through the 7th or something like that, I believe.
Yeah, the first weekend in November.
Yeah, let me get the actual.
The old
5th through the 7th. Yeah, November 5th through 7th. I have a lot of Cleveland listeners. Mark is one of the best comics out there. Your new special is fucking fantastic. I laughed my ass off. So many jokes. There's so many people, the storytelling and all that stuff has become so prevalent in stand-up comedy, where you have some stories, but they're very punchy and they're very quick and they're very jokey, and it's nice to watch your special because it's just bam, bam, bam. You're not being preachy. You're going to joke about everything. It's really what, I would say, like one of the purest forms of comedy, because you're just up there to be funny and nothing else.
Oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, I don't know how these other kids do it, where they talk about getting molested or diddled or raped by their aunt. And I'm like, if it's not killing, I'm panicking. I would be panicking the whole time during these long stories with these sob setups. Like, getting diddled isn't impressive. Anybody can get diddled. Tell me why diddling is funny.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, because, kids are funny. So maybe that's why.
That's true. It's true. But then bring a kid up and diddle it on stage or something. I'm an old cunt. I don't know. I like jokes.
I like jokes. I like the way you write. You're always on Twitter. One of the things that you talked about in your special, though, did connect with me, and I was wondering how true it was. It was about being a bedwetter, because I was a bedwetter till I was like 13, 14 years old.
Same. Wow. Look at that. That's nice. Same here. 13.
Yeah. I remember being so tired of it and just trying to force myself into I was real small kid. So my mom's way of dealing with it was to literally make me wear pull-up diapers every night. Once those were in bed, before that I had to wear real diapers. I was small enough that I could fit into the smallest kids, the biggest kid size of pull-up. So when I would go on sleepovers and stuff, I'd have a pull-up diaper and I have to sneak away and put it on and then sit real still. And it has definitely contributed to why I need praise and attention from strangers.
Totally. Now, they say bedwetting comes from trauma. Do you think that's your case? Were you traumatized as a youth?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like a specific time that I can remember because I was always pretty much a bedwetter, but I can't remember like a specific thing that happened. But I'm also I could have some stuff repressed. I had some not therapy, but like something was brought up to me, and I remembered it a very different way than the way it happened. And it was like, oh, okay, so that was like me coping with this traumatic experience.
Whoa.
Where I was just like, oh, I just thought it was things that kids did. And it was like, oh, no, you were a witness to a rape. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to bring that puppy up.
That's all right. That's all right. It's
wow.
This is the podcast. This is where you're supposed to do the long form, funny.
That was most of Young Comics opening, by the way, what you just said. But yeah, for me, it was, it was hell, like wet the bed till 13. I even would wet the bed in my late teens and 20s when I got too drunk. Did you have that?
Yeah, I had a few. I had one time I woke up and I was just peeing straight into the air, like coming down on me because I was so drunk. And so I definitely had some of that. And I mean,
I ruined a lot of one night stands before and after with the bedwetting, and then like it's a whole different kind of walk of shame where you have to walk home like covered in urine, and you pass by some whore and she's like, and you're like, yeah, she's a squirter, I'm a bedwetter. And I mean, it was my whole life. It consumed me. I could use a wash machine when I was like 4. Yeah. And it makes a man out of you in a weird way because you're like, all right, this is life. Life is hard. All your friends are sleeping at the sleepover. You got to get up, wash the sheets before they get up, and it builds character.
Yeah, one time I was sleeping at a kid's house and I fell asleep on his carpet, like just in like the living room, and I peed all over it. And my way of dealing with it was I poured pop all over the place.
That's good.
Yeah, but I used grape pop and ruined their carpet. Yeah, so they got real mad at me. They're like, it smells like grape pop and piss in here.
But isn't it funny how you take the grape pop beating over the piss knowledge? Like I'd rather you be mad at me about the grape soda than you think I pissed the floor.
Absolutely. And then like the next day, my friend was in like a bowling league, and so I had like pissy clothes at the bowling league, and it was just a miserable time.
Miserable existence. I remember one time I slept at a friend's house. By the way, sleeping at a friend's house was a nightmare because I would stay up in shifts like I was in World War II. I was like, I couldn't let myself pass out because the demons would get me. But so the next day I fell asleep for like 10 minutes, pissed myself like all the way up to the shirt, just covered in urine, jeans, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I had to go to summer camp. Me and my friend went to the same summer camp, and I just wrote it out all day. And people were like, something smells like whiz. And I'm like, these crazy white trash kids probably around here. I don't know. And I just had to ride it out.
Yeah, you always try to find a scapegoat to blame it on, or a reason that it happened. Another time a kid found my diaper in like my pillow, and he's like, what? And he was just being like inquisitive, but I took it as like a real offense. And like, I was kneeling on his chest, and luckily it was like in a moment when there wasn't anyone else around. And I like it's the only time I've ever actually been real threatening to someone, where I was like, I will kill you if you tell people about this. And he had enough trauma that he knew that I was serious. Like he's like, oh yeah, I've seen this look before.
Yeah, good for you, because that diaper will ruin you. I have no integrity and I have no self-respect, but I remember saying to my parents, I will not do the diaper. I can't do it. I'd rather piss in my own mouth. And my dad said, okay, well, you get no liquids after 6. That was my rule.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I can handle that. But I'll tell you, man, at 8:00, my brother's chugging Kool-Aid. I'm eating Doritos. It's like, I was so dried out.
That's
tough. It still didn't work. I still pissed.
Yeah, it's still pissed no matter what. Like that. And my mom took me to doctors, and they try and figure it out. And they, there's really nothing. You just have to grow out of it, and that's really all you can do. Like they taught me to. I was doing like Kegels and stuff like that. Like they were teaching me to do that shit, and they're like, "Oh, that'll help you build a stronger pelvic floor." And I actually have a bit about it where I say, like, yeah, I couldn't, it didn't help me stop wetting the bed, but I could shit shapes. Like it was like a Play-Doh factory.
Right. You got a shit like a star coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My parents, the 6 o'clock thing didn't work. We tried some pills, that didn't work. And then my dad got me a device that you clip onto your boxers, and when it felt moisture, it would beep.
Uh-huh.
And I pissed all over it. And I shorted it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like they I think they tried some stuff like that for me. And again, nothing worked. You literally just have to grow out of it. And so yeah, I would do less sleepovers, and I would do just, you just kind of live with that shame and just be like, all right, this is who I am. And also you just get so used to it that you're just like,
yeah,
like every day. And I was in a religious family too, so like there was all the guilt of like doing bad things because everything felt like a sin. And then on top of that, you have this other secret. So like every moment of going to school was pretty much like, I'm going to be either, made fun of for being a piss boy, or, I'm going to feel bad because I said a swear word. And so it was just agony.
Yes. Yeah. I see. I didn't have the religion. That's a whole nother bag of hammers you had to throw into the mix, but it was a nightmare. And you're right. It just became second nature. Like I'd wake up at 2 a.m. I'm covered in whiz. I'd flip the mattress. You go pee, or you go lay around the pee,
yeah,
like the circle, so you don't sit in the puddle. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it was not nice. And I remember towards the end, trying to explain to my mom that I think this one was a wet dream. And she's like, it's not how it works. And so I basically told my mom that I have the most cum.
Oh man, that's rough, boy. Do you have kids?
I have 3 stepkids, but they're older now. And like I'm still in their, like, I got married real young and then we got divorced, but I've always been their dad pretty much for like the past 15 years or so.
Yeah.
And so they're all grown. I mean, the youngest is 18 and a senior in high school. The older 2 are like 20 and 21 and have jobs, and they're doing all right. But
wait, these are not your blood.
No, these are just people that I've, because I was around in their formative years and their biological father wasn't around, I love them and want them in my life and vice versa.
Holy hell. Wow, you're like a grown-up.
Yeah. And I just got a dog back in February. And that's and I bought a condo. Like I'm doing pretty good here in Cleveland.
Doing great. You got a condo, a dog, and 3 illegitimate children. And
yeah, right.
Just you're killing it.
Someone else's kids. It's a superhero situation though, where I get to like tell people that, they're like, oh, you're such a good person. I'm like, yeah. Now I get to tell you the bad parts. So I mean, they're like, it evens out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the bad stuff's fun. Also, you got to live. God damn it, we're all flawed. I don't trust these people who are like, oh, I've never taken a drug or eaten a girl's ass or whatever it is. You got to live. Damn it.
You got to live. Last night I made so my son is 18 and his girlfriend and him and his girlfriend's cousin all work at the same place. And I picked them up last night and I was driving them home, and the girlfriend's cousin sent her a text, but I was reading her phone at the time because I was making an order at Taco Bell for them. And like it had all the things that they wanted. And it said like, hey, Bill, why does Bill sound like he's gay? And I just like turned around. I'm like, why would you say that? And she's in a place like this cousin of hers has never had like a man be mean to her. And so she's still like to this day, like this is almost 24 hours later, is still having a panic attack about the whole situation. So who's gay now?
Yeah. Suck on that, Taco Bell whore. But wait a minute. What did you chew her out?
I was just like, why would you say something like that when I'm being nice? I'm driving you home in the rain so you don't have to walk, and I'm buying you dinner. And I was just confused, and she took it as like me being like really pissed, but I was just like, that's really disrespectful, and I don't want to be disrespected when I'm trying to do something nice. Like I don't even really care about who you are.
Yeah,
we have like such a minimal interaction. You don't have to say shit about me because I'm not going to remember who you are.
Yeah. Also, I've been called worse. It's not that I'm super offended.
Worse. I worked on the radio. I'm sure there's 100 people today that were listening that called me gay, but I don't care about being called gay, but I just don't want. I was just confused about the whole situation. And she got really like, she's never had like a guy be like that direct with her. And so she just like burst into tears and was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, well, this is good for me.
Well, what is she like? She's probably what, 29 years old?
She was 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was, it was fine.
First of all, can I say that's gonna turn her on later? By the way, that's gonna fuck with her rods and cones, where she's gonna be in bed with a guy and she's gonna be like, "I'm gonna call you gay, then you chew me out and I'll jizz."
Yeah.
But also, good. I'm glad you yelled at her, and I feel like younger people don't get yelled at anymore. I mean, I was terrified of adults when I was a kid, and now kids just spitting right in my taco, and they don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what their situation is, where like my neither of them have a dad. Like my son's boyfriend or my son's girlfriend and the cousin, they all live in the same house, and there's no men in their lives, so they need someone to make them feel bad, and that's who I get to be now, and I'm fine with that.
Also, you don't sound gay at all. I mean, you look like a homosexual, but you don't sound
like a big
gay.
fat bear. But yeah, I don't sound gay. I don't feel like I sound gay. But I also think her version of gay is, I think it's changed. I think for this younger generation, if you speak like an adult, then you're like, that they sound gay. Whereas like if I were to like use like slang and try and sound like I'm black, they'd be like, what a straight guy.
Yeah, yeah. That has changed. You're right. But I will say, and this sounds homophobic, but it's kind of refreshing and nice coming out of New York City to hear gay still used as an insult.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, then like, as I explain that whole thing, they're like, well, we don't mean it in a bad way. We don't think gay's a bad thing. I'm like, you were making fun of me. Like whatever you were saying, like you obviously were saying this to try and get a reaction out of your cousin to make fun of me. And that's what I don't like. I don't care what you say to make fun of me. If you're making fun of me when I'm doing something nice for you, when we don't even have to have a real, like we can have a real superficial relationship, and you've wrecked that barrier.
Here. And you're buying her food.
Yeah.
Come on. What are you doing here, sister?
And like, I think that's an important thing. Like where people, like, it's the same thing with the anti-maskers. Like, I don't want to wear a mask. Like nobody cares if you wear a mask. We just want to be able to go through our day. We want to be like, we want that superficial interaction where I can go through my day, not notice you, and not have to be bothered by you.
Yes. Here. I think you nailed it.
Yeah. Nice forgettable interactions.
Yes. Because, we got enough on our plate. We got an election. We got BLM is up my ass. I got, all this, who knows what, Epstein's dead and Ghislaine is around. I don't know. So yeah, the more minimal, the better.
Right. And I think that's what being polite really comes down to. That's why wearing a mask is a polite thing to do, because then you can give someone your credit card, you can buy whatever you need, and then not have to change the way your day was going based on some stranger that's going to film it. And then, it just fucks everything up.
Exactly. So how crazy is Hilarities with the testing and the gun and the
they're great. They're handling everything real well. There's no like temperature checks or anything like that, but it's just like if they see someone that has like symptoms, obviously they're not going to let them in, but you have to wear a mask anytime you're up and moving around. They have barriers to keep everybody sectioned off. They've minimized the amount of seats in there, and they've been doing great. And I've been there a whole bunch of times, and I've been fine. I just got tested last week and was negative, and so I think it's real good. I think they're doing the best that anyone can be doing in this situation.
It is fun. I mean, we're doing the best we can do with this whole pandemic, but it's so funny how like you sit down, you have your meal, you take your mask off. It's fun. You're drinking your iced tea. Then you get up and walk 2 inches from the table, and you got to put the mask back on. It's just so funny how the rules are so arbitrary. But I get it. We're playing ball here.
Yeah, we're playing ball, and like that's the politeness thing where you're like,
yes,
yeah, I know I'm putting myself a little bit at risk, but I'm going to try and minimize it as much as I can.
Exactly.
And that's how you do it. So I think Mary Santor is going to be working with you and Chris Allen, right?
Yeah. Big fat Chris Al.
Yeah, he was. I got a pair of shoes today. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to steal those while I'm in town." I'm like, "I know, because you're black."
Yeah. Stereotypes. Here we go.
But I love Chris. It's going to be a great show. Mark is hilarious. So go see him. Check out his special on YouTube. And is it going to? Have you been able to write new material? Have you been? I know you're always
a whole new hour. Whole new hour. It's not up to snuff. I wouldn't say, but
it is.
It's new, but it's different than the special. So if you've seen the special, it'll be all different.
That's great. Well, thanks, Mark, for being on the podcast. Follow Mark on Twitter and Instagram. He's a great follow. And his YouTube channel, subscribe to that because he puts out a ton of different content on there that is really like, if you're a comedy nerd, you'll love it. But also if you just like jokes and stuff, you'll appreciate it because Mark is one of those guys where he's just trying to be funny. He doesn't take himself too serious. And that's nice.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I got no self-esteem. So yeah, I'm just trying to get laughs here, folks. I thought that was the job. But if you look at Twitter,
right,
all these comics are just going off about who knows what.
Yeah, I've been doing a thing where my girlfriend gives me prompts to like, she'll give me 3 topics every day. So I'll just write jokes about those things because that's what I have a hard time with is, you know, without trying to make everything topical or anything. I just want to write dumb throwaway jokes on Twitter like it used to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. And now Twitter just turned into this like beehive of attacking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kooky times. But hopefully, I hope Biden wins just so we can move on with our lives and I'll apologize and stop talking about. I like politics when they were boring.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's literally about like day-to-day existence versus like, we have to, you know, fight this revolution.
I know. I hate the revolution.
Yeah,
I just want to get drunk and, you know, have diarrhea and eat a hot dog.
Yeah, it sounds, and let's leave it right there. Get drunk,
all right.
Have diarrhea, eat a hot dog. Thanks, Mark, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Praise Allah.
Well, I can see half of Sam.
There you go.
Sam is my sister's name. Bill is my dad's name.
Weird.
Sexy.
Love it.
Super creepy.
Yeah.
It's like we're family.
We are family. All right. Tell us all your stuff.
All right. I think that's.
Ooh.
Let me scoot it back. Hey, Leah. Thanks for being. Oh, sorry, we just ate tacos and stuff. And we were getting down.
Thank you.
No, I'm going to leave that in. Hey, Leah. Thanks for being this week's Instagram hottie. This is my girlfriend, Sam.
Hello.
My dog's
Hello.
on a dream bone right now, so hopefully she'll be quiet for most of this, but usually she doesn't follow that. She'll be loud.
She's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my new puppy is downstairs, so he won't interrupt us, but my 2 cats have found solace in my bedroom, so you might see some cats running around. Just
Cat butts.
What kind of puppy?
So he's a mix. He is, from what I understand, German Shepherd, Husky, and Norwegian Elkhound.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he's going to be a big, fluffy guy.
He's going to be big. He's already 12 and a half pounds and he's only 7 weeks. So he's
More than Whoopsie.
kind of gigantic.
Yeah, Whoopsie's probably close to like 15 or 16 pounds now. She's like all legs, though. She's got like these really long stick legs.
Mm-hmm. I call them pretzel sticks.
Yeah, they look like pretzel sticks.
I see her. She's so cute.
She's evil. I love her. I hate her.
So we were actually just talking on the show, and I actually want to get your opinion on this because I was outnumbered. We were talking about this on the Alan Cox show, and they asked like if I would be upset if my mom was on OnlyFans, and I told them honestly that I would not care. Like as long as I don't have to watch it, I don't give one fuck.
Yeah. I mean, my mom, if she was on OnlyFans, it would be her earn. So that wouldn't be cute.
Oh, man.
But
I have to like, it's going the direction.
Congratulations. Rest in peace, Mom. If she were still living, do your thing. I don't really care. Make your money. I'm on your team.
Right, and I think the stigmatization of sex workers is very strange to me. And people like, well, it's it's fine if this situation, but if it's your family member, I'm like, but that's still stigmatizing it. And it's like, if it's your family member, just don't watch it. Like, I don't have to. And then they go, well, what if your daughters were doing it? I'm like, again, don't care. Like, it's if that's how they want to make their living, I don't want them to be like in the bad parts of like the industry where it's like to fuel a drug addiction or anything like that. But if they're just doing.
But if they have their own boundaries,
yeah, and
it's consensual.
It's consensual,
yeah.
And they like, and it's them, and they're making the money. I have no problem with it because I really don't think like people think of it like as a skeezy way to be or something like that, and I just don't. I don't abide by that.
Me either.
Yeah,
Pro sex.
I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. Absolutely don't want to see it. Don't really want to talk about it, but I don't care.
So you're not gonna like ask at Thanksgiving, how was your day?
Right.
Well,
here's the thing. One of the main reasons I don't want to talk about it because I find out that they have like more subscribers than like my free YouTube channel, I'm gonna feel real bad about myself.
Oh, I would
I'd be
love
like,
it.
my YouTube channel is at like 300 subscribers. They're like, oh, I got 10,000 people subscribing to me. I'm like, first of all, you're paying your phone bill now and mine.
They make more money than you? Oh, man.
Right.
I don't even care if they make more money than me because
Good for them.
that's great.
Yeah.
It's just they're cut off. That's for sure.
Or increase their rent. I mean,
Why they don't
make them pay for things.
They're all pretty much on their own anyway. Like my kids are pretty old now. Like my two older daughters are 21 and almost 20, and they they're pretty independent. Like my one daughter still lives with her mom, but she's like got a job and a car and everything like that, and she's she does what she does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that. I don't think I'm gonna make it that far.
Yeah,
I think I'll die before. I have 3 girls, and I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
how old are they?
I have an almost 10-year-old. She'll be 10 on November 5th. And then I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. But then I also have an 8-year-old boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
you'll be fine. You'll make it. I believe in you.
My boy has promised me he'll take care of me when they make me insane.
That's sweet. That's a cute thing to do.
He says it now. I don't actually believe him.
Hold
but
him
at least he's
accountable.
making the offer. Like, I don't think I ever said anything that nice to my mom. So.
Oh, well, I videotaped it. So
that's good. You have.
It's kind of like a contract. You know what I mean? Like.
This is a weird way to start talking about someone's kid.
Whatever. There's contract involved. It's serious.
I mean, he also said he's going to marry me, so that's just a little weird. Also, on video, I'm not going to keep that contract.
No, that's. But that's also
creepy.
There's editing.
At that age, like he really has no understanding of what that really means. That's
right.
What he really wants is someone that will never live up to who you are, which is gonna happen. He's every girl's not gonna be enough for him because like you're not as good as my mom.
Yeah, I mean,
then he
honestly,
becomes Norman Bates.
Oh God.
Oh boy, let's not let that happen.
Well, it's up to you.
I just don't want to be that crazy mother-in-law. Like that's where I'm at. I'm glad I only had one boy because I can see myself being a little nuts, and I don't want that to happen.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if my kids were to be like OnlyFans, that's fine. Like, who's your boyfriend? Like, does he have a job? Like, my one daughter just started dating a guy, and I'm like the first question out of my mouth, and I couldn't even help it. I'm like, what does he do? Does he have a job? Like, I just don't want to. And he's like a mechanic and stuff. I'm like, okay, so he's not a piece of shit. Like that's happy. I mean, he's a piece of shit because he's a mechanic, but he's got a job. They always overcharge, but at least he's making a living.
Slightly untrustworthy.
You're nice to him. He won't overcharge you.
Well, I mean, that's why you have to have a guy. So if he ends up being my mechanic, that's cool. But
I'm gonna tell him you said this.
You don't even know who he is.
No, but I can find out.
Yeah, you could.
Feels like that might be pretty easy for her to figure it out.
Yeah, she probably will have a better relationship with them than I do. Pretty quickly.
Because I'm nicer than you?
Yeah, because I'm
You're a mean dad.
I'm not a mean dad, but like
when it comes to the
boyfriends, I need the boyfriends to not be a piece of shit. So I think that's
fair.
Our dad should be. I
wouldn't know.
I'm a little traditional in that. Yeah, I know. That's why you're with me.
Okay. Don't make it weird.
Not because I'm just saying you know it's a piece of shit.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I did though. That's why I like you.
But you wouldn't like me if you had that.
Unsure.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
I guess not. Sorry, Leah. She just
But like mom and dad are fighting again. I'm just waiting to see if they make up.
You don't want to see that. This isn't an OnlyFans.
Oh crap.
Yeah. So
wrong Zoom call. I'm sorry. That one's next.
Yeah,
we'll call you back later.
Start Jeffrey tubing over here. You guys don't get that reference, man?
Why? Because we're too young and you're old?
No, because he was the guy that was jerking off on CNN.
Yeah,
that's what
I did. Yeah, I read that.
So you recently got some boudoir pictures taken, and you sent me a few of them, and they're gorgeous. You look fantastic. What made you want to do that?
Me, for myself.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I think when you're a mom, and especially now being home, and I'm not really doing anything, it was just kind of like, I don't know, I wanted to feel good about myself again and kind of not feel like frumpy. And every day I work from home, so I'm in my office and my hair's up in a ponytail and I just look like crap. So no makeup. I don't wear makeup anymore. You guys are welcome for putting this on.
I don't wear makeup anymore either.
Yeah,
so weird.
I've saved so much money.
Yes.
Can I just say this? I love the no makeup situation because I think one, like when you were wearing makeup, your skin would break out because of it.
Not terribly.
Not terribly, but it would, and like you'd be like upset about that. But I think like that you're like the natural beauty thing is way better than like the makeup thing. Like every once in a while, if you want to put it on, that's fine. But I like just the way faces look.
Get down.
So
I hear you on that, except for when I don't wear makeup. This is what people say to me. Are you tired?
Yeah, are you feeling okay?
Right,
Did you sleep last night? And I'm like, nah, I just didn't put eyeliner on, guys. Like, that's the difference.
Like, get over it. This is what my face normally looks like. This is what I wake up to every day.
And I think that's what people say. But I think as we move more into a makeup-less society, people will say that less. And also, like, everybody's tired all the time. If you're an adult, you have 4 kids.
Yeah.
Why would you even ask? Of course you're tired.
Yeah. I mean, I still find it offensive.
Yeah. And no, I'm saying we got to stop the people from asking that question, because if you're talking to another adult, just assume they're tired.
Right.
That's what I think the situation should be. So if you're like, oh, are you tired right now? Or you look tired right now. You're
like, fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah. You can just remove that from your lexicon, because of course they are. They're a fucking adult doing adult things.
Like, are you tired as an adult? Like, of course you are. I'm not asking you.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody asked me if I'm tired or anything like that, but I think they assume it. And I think that should go for both genders, or all genders.
That's fair. But, equality and such as it is, lots of those things are behind.
I know. It's upsetting. But I love the boudoir photos.
Thank you.
And I actually wanted to buy you some.
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, I think you would really like that. Like, what's the experience like?
Yeah, where'd you go? Tell us about all that.
So my experience was really good. It was funny because I went through a guy, and I didn't know how I felt about that at first, but I don't know that I would have been all that comfortable with a female. I'm way more comfortable with men. And I feel like if I'm going to get kind of like racy or sexy pictures taken, I want a guy to really be telling me like, yeah, that's hot, or,
yeah, for sure.
Whatever.
I've had a few people on here that have had boudoir shoots, and they've all been with women. So I think you're the first one to do it with a man. And I think that's pretty interesting to like be like, yeah, I want the guy to tell me this looks sexy. This is like, and that probably like made it even more exciting to do it.
It did.
I feel much better because it's a dude telling you, not just another lady.
Right, because women lie. I'm kidding.
We're just nicer.
We are nicer. The other thing is it's really funny because I actually know his cousin, and I didn't know that when I booked the pictures, but I was talking to, he used to be like a really good friend of mine. And I was like, yeah, I booked these pictures. It's with this guy. I was like, I don't know him. He's from a different city. And he was like, oh, that's my cousin. And then it was interesting because then when I got there, he has a lot of the same mannerisms as my friend. Mm-hmm. So it was like even more comfortable because I've had this friend for like 20 years. So it just kind of felt even more comfortable.
Well,
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I had the hair and makeup done before. I think that's the only thing that I would probably change about it is that although the makeup was beautiful, I loved it. When I look back on it now, it doesn't really look a lot like me. It's going to be disappointing when people see the picture that I sent you, and then they're going to watch this video and be like, I don't think that's the same person.
I think you still look the same. I mean, it's definitely like a very dramatic makeup, but I think it's still the same face.
It was a lot. And actually, it's funny because when I came home, my 2 biggest kids were outside playing, and I got out of the car and I still had the full face of makeup on. And my daughter goes, oh gosh, what did you do to your face? And I was like, oh, good. That makes me feel great right now.
Honest. They are so honest.
Yeah. So I think that's the only thing, that's the only thing I would change is like, if you want to look back, and I think, well, this is just me, but maybe take this advice, make it more natural looking, because then I think later on you'll look at it and be like, yeah, that really is me and I look good.
Yeah. Kind of dictate what you're going for, and don't, make sure you have control through the whole process.
Well, and I didn't know, right? Like I was like, yeah, go all out, like make me fancy. And then,
fancy.
It is fancy. Right. I will say that it is fancy.
Yeah. So then, it looks great. I think she did a great job. But then looking back, I'm like, oh, like I look really, in some of the pictures, I think it's just like very overly dramatic. And so I would have toned it down a little bit if I were to do them again, which I do want to do them again eventually.
You're going to unplug something.
I know. And she's farting like crazy. All right. Well, that is pretty much all we needed from you. Thank you so much for being this week's Instagram hottie.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
This is the Bill Squire Show.